Hello everyone, this is Princess here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the next LD weapons that are going to be coming for April. I know I normally do these videos for event characters or like story characters or for characters who are also getting bursts, but I now want to branch out and try and talk about the next LD weapons for other characters as well. So the first one we're going to talk about is going to be for Celes. So her LD is going to be featured on the Divine World of Illusions banner with Ramuh, and it's also going to be featured along with the Emperor's LD and Burst. So just to zoom out over here, whoops. So her LD weapon, first off, is called the Ragnarok, and this will grant her the skill Freeze Dive. It is a 3-hit AoE Ice Magic Brave HP attack, followed by an 8-hit AoE Ice Magic Brave HP attack. It deals more Brave damage on single targets, it has a 180% max Brave overflow, it deals split damage, recovers party HP by 50% of total HP damage dealt, raises party brave by 20% of total HP damage dealt, inflicts ice resist down to all targets for 4 turns on the first HP attack, and inflicts Magitech ice for 3 turns and lock for 4 turns, and it also extends the active Brave Magic Absorb buff by 1 turn and by 2 levels, limit being 5. So as for the Magitech Ice debuff itself, it will trigger the Magitech Ice Trap attack after the target's turn, and it will raise Celeste's Brave based on her initial Brave, and then follows up with a 3-hit Ice Magic Brave HP attack. It is 80% per hit. It also recovers party HP and raises party Brave based on HP damage dealt, recovery limit being 10% of max HP. Keep in mind this does not launch enemies. As for the Magitech Ice debuff itself, it raises the Brave damage that is taken by 20%. So looking at the LD passives, at 1 out of 3 you get Freeze Dive Power, which raises Brave damage dealt with her LD. At 2 out of 3 she gets Runic Buff Start Magitech Ice Longer, so she will start the quest with Brave Magic Absorb for 4 turns, and also extends Magitech Ice for 3 turns. And then at 3 out of 3 you get Freeze Dive Charge, which adds another use to Freeze Dive, and each time you limit break this LD, it will raise Celeste's attack as well as the party's attack. The next character to get their LD is going to be Aerith, and her LD will grant her the skill called Seal Evil. So what it does is it raises the party's Brave based on her attack. It follows up with a single target HP attack and a 6-hit AoE Magic Brave single target HP attack. It deals more Brave damage on single targets. The gained Brave and a stolen Brave has a 150% max Brave overflow. It also deals splash damage, and it grants Seal Evil for 3 turns. So what Seal Evil does is it will trigger a follow-up attack after Aerith's turn, where it lowers the enemy's Brave based on attack, it raises the party's Brave based on attack, and deals HP damage by 100% of current Brave, extends Aerith's buffs by 1 turn, and will inflict Planet's Punishment on the target for 2 turns. Keep in mind this does not break the target, and it doesn't consume Aerith's Brave, or I think even the party's Brave as well. As for the Seal Evil and the Planet's Punishment buffs, so Seal Evil grants full protection from debuffs and lowers all enemies' attack, speed, and defense, and Planet's Punishment will raise HP damage taken and also prohibits buffs. So looking at the LD passives for Aerith, so at 1 out of 3 you get Seal Evil Power, which raises Brave damage dealt with Seal Evil. At 2 out of 3 you get Seal Evil Long, which will extend her buff for 3 turns. And then at 3 out of 3 you get Seal Evil Charge, which adds another use to her LD. It also raises the party's max Brave and attack with each limit break. So now, with that being said, I'm now going to head over to Opera Omnia JP, and I'm going to showcase Aerith and Celeste's LD. Alright, so we're back in Opera Omnia JP. So here's my Celeste over here. I know I haven't 3 out of 3'd her stuff, but over here is the LD passive on her. And then over here is my Aerith. I do have her 7-star armor on her as well. And over here is the LD passive on her. Alright, so kind of just to like summarize what each of the characters get with their LDs. So with Celeste, her LD lowers ice resist, and she can also deal ice damage. She can raise the party's Brave as well as heal them. She can deal extra damage with the follow-up from her Freeze Dive, and she can deal extra damage, with the Magitech Ice. She can also instantly lock the party, instantly inflict the lock debuff. I can't talk today, as well as extend her buffs. So as you can see, she's got the Brave Magic Absorb buff on her. It's at 3 levels currently, If we look over here, there's Ice Resist Down, Lock, and Match Attack Ice. So moving on to Aerith, we're going to do Seal Evil. And right over there, that was the follow-up from Seal Evil. So if I was just to do, I'm going to do a Brave Attack right here. And she can still do the follow-up, regardless of what skill she uses. Well, I don't think the C65s count, though. And then that was the follow-up from Magic Tech Ice. So as you can see, the party regained some of their HP. So I'm going to do a runic right over here. As for Aerith, so her LD can deal follow-up damage. She can shave enemy brave while raising the party brave. She can the LD extends Aerith's buffs as well as protects the party from debuffs, and can also prevent the enemy from gaining buffs. So if you were doing a Lufenia where the boss was like really relies heavily on like providing buffs to itself, that's where Aerith can come in handy. Here comes another Brave Magic Absorb. And there we go. I'm gonna hit you too. So lots of follow-up damage coming from both of these girls, which is pretty nice. So that, I think, is going to cover up everything that I mentioned today. So thank you guys very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know if you are going to be going for Aerith or for Celeste's LD. And I will see you all next time.